Hello Ride-On people, so I'm on my brand new, just picked it up today, 2023 Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Explorer in khaki green with white frame and white side panels. And this is the top dog in the Tiger range. This is the off-road version with the big 7-gallon tank and the long travel suspension, the 21-inch front wheel, the wire spoke wheels, and comes with heated seats, heated grips, cruise control, lovely clear TFT as you can see, and hand adjustable screen and all that jazz. So initial impressions, this will be a fairly short video. Just want to give my initial thoughts. I've covered about 100 miles now, picked it up in Chattanooga. I'm on my way home. My local dealer, Triumph Roswell, great people, but they didn't have this colour in stock and couldn't quite match the trading deal on my Multistrada with the dealer in Chattanooga, who I also know very well, having bought my Street Fighter from them before. And so they offered the slightly better deal and the preferred colour scheme for me. So I've been up to Chattanooga in Tennessee, riding home as I say. First part was a little bit of freeway work, and I can say that the screen in the upright position is it's pretty effective. Works fairly well for my 6-foot frame. In the lower height there is a lot of wind buffeting, but there was with the Multistrada as well, but you get good airflow, so it's a trade-off. You know, do you want cooling air on a hot day but you put up with some buffeting, or are you on the freeway doing consistently high RPM and you want it upright? The screen is nice and clear, pretty intuitive. You've got a home button on the right hand side, and you've got a mode button here. You can select modes, you can go up and down the modes with the joystick. So you go for sports, rider, rain, road, push it in to select the mode that you want. And cruise control is a simple set or resume over here. You've got heated grip button built into the grip itself. You've got your headlight flasher, you've got your high beam if you push it forwards, you've got your heated seats, and you've got your as we can see there, spotlights, because on the Rally Explorer you get the extra equipment, which is the upper engine protection bars, the beefier skid plate, and heated seats and all that jazz. Over here you've got your stop start, your hazards, and your home button. You can also have a mixture of things displayed, such as fuel remaining. So I've got half a tank of fuel left, showing 142 mile range, averaging in real time about 45-50, and overall 39. But this is a new engine. As soon as it's running, I would expect that to increase by 5 to 10 miles, increasing the range. You've got your home button here if you just want to go back to the main screen. Two different themes, furnace, which is kind of like a bright red theme, and this is cobalt, which I prefer. I like this blue that they use here for the gear indicator. It's very smooth. Now if I go down the Pro Shifter, butter, 5th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, and that's without having to, you know, roll on the throttle when accelerating, having it at a constant or accelerative throttle. So that works extremely well. I like that. The mirrors are also nice. They're kind of a weird shape, but I'm not sure I care for the shape all that much. And the blind spots are at the bottom. Maybe it'd be a bit better if they were at the top for visibility. However, they seem pretty vibe free, give a great view of what's behind you, so I can't complain about that. The screen adjustment, I mean, simple as that, pretty cake. And oh, this is my turn. brakes are strong, and it doesn't dive nowhere near as much as I thought it would, and it's agile. The tipping is fine. I keep forgetting it has a 21-inch front wheel because it feels like a 19-inch from my Multistrada or the GS range, for instance. Part of that is because the steering angle is a little bit steeper than on the GT models. One thing I will say immediately though is this is a tall bike. I put the seats on their lowest setting, and I'm still a bit on well, not exactly tiptoes, but I'm on the balls of my feet. My feet are not flat, and I'm kind of like 6'2"-ish. So this is definitely kind of KTM tall, basically. I would say a little bit taller than the GSA. So that's definitely a consideration if you're buying this bike. Suspension feels good. It felt a little bit too firm when I just picked it up. I think it just needed a couple of miles to loosen up a bit. I've got it in road mode down here where it's pretty gravelly, and you won't see it on camera, but this road is very ripply and bumpy, and yeah, it's starting to feel nice actually. Very, very good. Confidence inspiring in the way in which it steers and the grip, but of course this is just dry. I have to reserve judgment until I've done a few miles and ridden it in the wet, of course. So tickety boo so far. Cruise control was pretty easy to use on the freeway, and seat and suspension's already starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. As well as the rider modes, you can actually change the damping on the fly as well. And if I come out of this menu and go to the one with the bike, come back, avoid hitting the car, go to one with the bike, I can go into damping here, and I can change the damping rate. It's currently normal. I can just switch it down to comfort if this is particularly bumpy and I want a more comfortable ride, or if the road is fantastic I can switch it up to sport, and now I have nice firm damping. So you can do all that kind of stuff on the fly. I should have probably left it in comfort down this super bumpy part, but it's in normal. And come out of that, you've got your TPMS currently showing 46.35. I think that sounds a little bit high, but I can check that kind of good stuff when I get home. I can go into service down here, get out here without killing myself, showing I've done 120, well the bike's done 120 miles, and service in 484, so 600 mile service basically. Come out of that, come out of that, go back to trip, fuel back up, or I can just hit home and get straight back to the home screen there. So what's an immediate standout? Well, I would say that the engine feels great already. It's much sounds a whole lot better and is much smoother than the Multistrada low down. Oh, the camera will pick that up, but it's got, with the T-plane crank, it's got that lovely kind of parallel twin rorty sound to it, which is really nice, and then it becomes more of a triple as the, you know, as the revs rise, etc. I will say that the Union Jack in the back of that car, thank you very much sir, I would say that and the brakes feel pretty stellar straight out the box. Now the Ducati had Stylema calipers from Brembo, which are very top draw, but this feels equally as good, and I'm a little surprised the front end doesn't dive nowhere near as much as I was expecting. Another nice pleasantry is obviously it's shaft drive, but in addition to it being shaft drive, I would say that the way it's been you know, amalgamated into the driveline is very good. So when you're on and off the throttle almost in a clumsy kind of way, deliberately, it still feels very slick, like a well adjusted chain. You don't get that horrible transmission lash that you do with some older shaft drive systems. You know that if you're old enough to know what a cush drive is in your rear wheel, where you had these rubber inserts to cushion the slack of a slack chain, it's nothing like that. This feels very slick and you just forget about it, which is what you want from a shaft drive, right? You've got no kind of rising sensation as you accelerate like an old Guzzi or something, and it just feels very smooth, very slick. So the shaft is great, the engine is great, and the box is great. You know, going up the gearbox and down the gearbox, I mean, they're all getting so good now, but that's really up there with Ducati, which I would say is pretty much the top of the tree. You know, heaps better than BMW on the Boxer side, and also the KTMs. You know, this is it. I hate this junction. So overall I'm feeling happy and comfortable, and I think I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this bike. I like the shaft drive, I like the big tank range, 7-gallon tank this, I like the long service intervals, I like the dealers, I like the feel of a triple, I like the look of this Rally Explorer model particularly, and for my personal needs of long riding days and long weekends away, I think it will suit it very, very well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with luggage yet. There's a bit of a shortage on the pannier brackets. The panniers seem to be okay, but getting hold of the brackets is difficult. I might invest in the tin box panniers, but otherwise I do have a new tail pack coming from Wolfman, which I'll use in the interim. The fall is starting to come, as you can see, a few leaves starting to fall from the trees, and I can't wait to get out in the mountains and enjoy this bike on the autumnal days ahead. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a house without a roof. Love is the sweetest thing. My 2023 Tiger 1200 Rally Explorer. The top dog, top of the tree, Triumph Tiger for 2023. This is in khaki matte green with the white side panels and the white frame. I think she's quite a looker as adventure bikes go. What do you think? have it. It's just a short initial thoughts video. I'll be doing a video on why I changed the bike, and you know, what I think of the competition, all the rest of it. And naturally there'll be a lot of videos coming up to cover my ownership of this wonderful 2023 new Triumph model. So if you're new to the channel, you might want to consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And if you're a regular, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the new 2023 Tiger Rally Explorer. Alright, sayonara.
Hey you, if you want to become one of the Ride On people, don't forget to subscribe. Ride often, ride carefully, ride on.